Hey, what's up, guys? Run a Bunch here, bringing you another installment of the most under the radar sports betting, sports talk show on YouTube, the Run a Bunch Sports Show. Guys, let's go ahead and get right to a heavy weekend slate. I have plenty of picks for you guys this weekend. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So, guys, first I'm heading to the NBA. And guys, there are just a ton of NBA games tonight, so it'll be a very good night for sports betting. I will personally probably be picking more than just these two games that I have for you guys now, but these are the two most confident games that I have for you guys this evening. So let's see here. All right, guys. So my first game of the evening in the NBA is the Dallas Mavericks -4 versus the Indiana Pacers. Now, my reasoning for this. So as you can see here, it's still. I'll get my reasoning here in a second. Sorry. You can see here it's still -4 in most places, even though I believe it started out at -5. So that means people are probably on the Pacers, but it seems like 52% of the tickets are on the Mavericks. Pacers lost T.J. Warren for the season. He was injured about a week ago, I believe, and they really haven't looked like a similar team since he's been gone. They've lost that shooting that he brought to the table. They're also, 20 and 23 overall in the season. We can go back up here and confirm that. And they are overall 17 and 26 against the spread, which is not ideal. And the Mavs just went through, the trade deadline was yesterday. They picked up J.J. Redick, which I believe for their future will be very good because they were clicking on all cylinders last year when they had a guy like Seth Curry, who, was a spot-up shooter. J.J. Redick, just, a little bit of a smaller version of Seth Curry. I mean, that they brought that shooting back for, hopefully a decent playoff run. But guys, the Mavericks are 23 and 19 overall, and they're decent against the spread. They're pretty much right around the same area where, as their total wins. But I mean, even though JJ Redick's not playing tonight, he will be playing. I think Luka and company, find a way to get this job done. I think without TJ Warren, the Pacers are probably looking to, try to just find some value in the draft and, look ahead to next year. I think their season is just about done. So, guys, my second pick for the NBA tonight, my last pick for the NBA, is Memphis +9 versus the Utah Jazz. Sorry, the Memphis Grizzlies +9 versus the Utah Jazz. Now, I know, guys, Utah, very good, 32 and 11 overall, and they're also 28 and 15 against the spread, but hear me out on this one. Grizzlies, even though they're 21 and 20, they're also a very good against the spread team, 24 and 17 against the spread, which tells me that even though they've been losing some games, they keep games fairly close. And the Jazz in their last 9 games are a total of just 3 and 6 against the spread. So they're kind of losing that, crazy against the spread team like magic they've been having. So I mean, before that, they were 25 and 9 against the spread, and since then they're 3 and 6. I just really like that value of that +9, which honestly down here it looks like places have actually moved to 9.5, which is even better because that would give us +9.5 in a lot of different places. So, that tells me people are on the Jazz, probably because that against the spread. But, the Grizzlies are definitely no joke against the spread as well. And also that +9 just feels like a lot. So I am backing Memphis not to win, but to cover tonight against the Jazz. So, guys, we're going ahead to the MLB. Going to bring you guys some baseball picks for this evening. Both those NBA games are after 7 p.m., by the way, so just be on the lookout for those. As well as both of these games are right around 7:05, somewhere in there. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, guys, my first MLB pick tonight is the Miami Marlins money line versus the Houston Astros. My reasoning for this, Miami is a solid 11-5 so far this season, as you can see right here in spring training, and they're 5-3 on the road. Houston's 6-12 overall, which isn't necessarily ideal, and they're 4-5 at home, which is okay. Even though Zach Greinke is pitching, I like Miami's offensive, end of the bat, and I do think that I don't think they'll pitch, Zach the entire game. So, I mean, because it's spring training, I think he'll maybe pitch a few innings, and they'll bring in some bullpen guys. So, I think the Astros are actually favored in this game, probably because of Greinke, but don't really buy into that. Spring training, they don't pitch guys for 9 or 10 innings. They'll pitch him for maybe like 3 or 4, and I think Miami will do enough to win this game. I think they have great value. You can see here some places have plus 118, plus 126. That's the best one you can get. I just really like I think the risk is worth the reward here. I think both these teams are fairly even in terms of with Greinke pitching, but I like the value on the Marlins, and I like them to win. Especially, I just love picking against the Houston Astros. I don't really like the Astros, so it's fun to do that for me as well. All right, guys, so my second and final MLB pick is the Texas Rangers. Texas Rangers money line versus the Kansas City Royals. Now, the Royals, as you can see here, are a solid 14-7 overall on the season, but they're only 6-5 on the road, which is pretty much just right around 500. Now, even though this record's better than this record, 12-9 is still fairly respectable, and the number that really impresses me on the Rangers is that they are 8-2 so far at home this season, which to me that's quite an impressive home record even for just spring training. So I'm going to have to lean in that direction and go with the Texas Rangers money line. Typically, I'd probably go with Kansas City, but that 8-2, I have to ride with that impressive home record tonight. They have some pretty decent value, minus 120. The tickets are pretty much 50-50, but if you guys like this value at plus 102, I wouldn't personally recommend it, but I think the Rangers are the smart bet here tonight. So guys, no NHL tonight. I just don't feel comfortable with the lines. Kind of some crappy lines for tonight. And of course, they don't come out for the weekend. So no NHL tonight, but I will bring you guys a few of my NCAA basketball picks for this weekend for the Sweet 16. I'm excited for this weekend. I'm excited for the Sweet 16. A lot of good lines here. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So this game is tomorrow at 2:40 p.m. I like the Oregon State Beavers plus 7 versus Loyola Chicago Ramblers. Now, our reasoning for this, it's tough. It's definitely tough to bet against Loyola, especially, Sister Jean is on the other side. But both teams this season are so similar against the spread. I think Loyola was like 18-9-1 against the spread, and Oregon State is 21-9 against the spread. So both fairly similar. But honestly, I don't like when Loyola is favored by so many points. They don't do nearly as well. And Oregon State has just thrived so far in March, being an underdog against the spread. They are currently, I think they're 5-1 against the spread as an underdog in March, which, I mean, that is just, that's really good. So I have to ride with that as well. So looking down here, it looks like some places have it going to 6.5. Some places still have it at plus 7. I think it'll probably teeter back and forth from that 6.5 to 7 line, because I think people are taking Loyola, but I think people are also taking Oregon State. Only 52% is on Oregon State. I feel like this game is one of those games that's probably going to come down to the last possession or two, and I don't see Loyola Chicago winning by that kind of margin against this hot Oregon State Beaver team. And also, guys, I don't really like all the I don't like all the hype Sister Jean's getting. I mean, just look at this. look at this on their Twitter. Look at March Madness tweeting about Final Four runs with Sister Jean. Look at this awful Photoshop job. This is nightmare fuel right here, guys. It's ridiculous, but I feel like Loyola Chicago, they might win, but I feel like all the hype is gonna start getting to them. I don't like when they get hyped. I don't know. I like Oregon State +7. All right, guys. So my second NCAA basketball game for this weekend. This is tomorrow night at 9:55 p.m. I like Syracuse and Houston to go under 140 points. Some places, yeah, it's right at 140.5 to 140, somewhere in there. Yeah, honestly, guys, I don't think I don't see a scenario where Houston didn't spend this week looking at footage from the Syracuse West Virginia game, how to not stop Buddy Boeheim and the Syracuse offense. I think WVU showed them exactly how to not do that, and I think that Houston will probably make adjustments. They've had a whole week to do that, and Houston and Syracuse are two of the best defensive teams left in this tournament. Houston only allows 58 points a game, even though they play a cupcake schedule. I still feel like that is impressive in its own. And Syracuse allowed under 65 points a game in the ACC, which is is much tougher conference. So I feel like I don't see either of these teams hitting that 70 mark. I think they'll hit around the 65 point mark. Now, obviously, if this game goes into overtime, then probably a done deal, but I don't think it will. I like Buddy Boeheim to regress. I think he's been shooting insanely hot these last few games, and I don't see him keeping it up. I think eventually he'll cool down, and this could be that game. So I'm definitely taking the under in this one. I almost thought about the Houston -6.5, but Syracuse is just one of those teams that could lose by 4 or win by 2, especially with that zone, that 2-3 zone, that horrible 2-3 zone that I hate. But eat my Mountaineers to death with that. But I just like both these teams to hit the under. And it looks like the majority of the public also agrees with that bet. 62% of the bets are on the under. So guys, I definitely would get on this 140 before it drops anymore, because there is a chance that this number will go down by tomorrow evening. So definitely hop on that while you can now. All right, guys. So my last game of the show and my last game of NCAA basketball for the weekend is Sunday at 9:45 p.m. A late one. I know a lot of you guys probably have to work and that kind of thing. So it kind of stinks if you want to watch this game. But, I like the Oregon Ducks +2 versus the USC Trojans. Now, my reasoning for this, Oregon so far this season has just kind of had USC's number. Evan Mobley is an absolute dog, and I think he's probably the solidified number 2 pick in the upcoming draft. He's getting comparisons to like Anthony Davis right now, so he's an animal. But I just think he's not enough for this team to get over the Oregon, team-oriented like offensive performance they've been putting up the last few games. They really impressed me against Iowa the other day. Now, I don't think they'll shoot 60% from the field like they did, but I do think that they're typically averaging around 49% from the field this season, and I think they'll keep it up. They get another week of rest. Oregon is definitely the most rested team in this tournament right now. So I just feel that Oregon has too much offensive firepower, especially with that rest, for USC to actually overcome this game. I don't think Evan Mobley can do it by himself. So I like Oregon +2 versus USC. And then it looks like it's pretty much stayed around that point. I think it probably will up until Sunday. I think it'll start getting closer to even odds probably. As you can see here, 50% of the tickets are on Oregon. That's a fairly popular pick, I believe, but I think it is a smart pick. So guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up the show for today. Got a lot of picks for you guys this weekend. I feel bad about my 1-4 night that we had on Wednesday, but sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. That's sports betting for you. I haven't had an episode go that poorly, I guess, in weeks. So hopefully we can bounce back this weekend. I think that makes me just 2-6 on the week. That's kind of rough, but uh, that's why I'm making 7 picks. So hopefully we can end up being like 9-6. That'd be pretty sweet to go 7-0. But yeah, guys, the lock of the day back down to 6-8, losing a few, which means that hopefully we can win a few. I forgot to even pick my lock of the day. I'm sorry, guys. My lock of the day is Memphis +9 versus the Utah Jazz. That is my lock of the day. So be on lookout for that one. Hopefully we can bring that up to 7-8. We'll have to see. But guys, yeah, I'm pretty much going to wrap it up here real quick. Like and subscribe. Definitely subscribe if you want more notifications of when these videos come out. I am going back to a routine Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. I like to have these videos out before 5 p.m., so that's why I'm picking later games. So yeah, guys, thank you very much, and have a wonderful Friday and have a wonderful weekend. I think this is the last weekend of March, so enjoy it. The weather's supposed to be pretty decent. I think it's supposed to get into the 70s tomorrow, so definitely go outside after you place all of your sport bets. So yeah, see you guys Monday, all you sports bettors and sport fanatics, and cue the outro.